I think in life we tend to fall into two different categories, the reactors and the responders. Now, I was lucky enough to have both of those influences in my life when I was growing up. My mum was very much the reactor. If something happened, you'd get an immediate knee-jerk response. Whereas my dad took much more time to kind of take it on, think about it, and then respond accordingly. So I think you can probably guess who I went to when I'd done something really bad and didn't want the drama and the shouting. Always, always my dad. I've got a couple of friends who have similar characteristics, and you can tell it most when we're outside having a picnic with food in the summer. Along comes the wasp, and one of my friends will sit completely serenely and calmly, and the wasp will just circle her a few times and then off it flies and everyone's fine. My other friend, and you know exactly who you are, does the wasp dance. The arms come up, she's flapping around, she's going crazy, she's running, she's squealing, and the wasp is like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna get you. It's hilarious every single time. She just can't get over the fear. Now, I think the fundamental difference between reacting to something and responding to something is fear. When we react, it tends to be out of a place of fear, doesn't it? Now, that's really important. There are times where you have to act quickly. You have to react to something in the moment. There isn't time to think about it and respond. You've got to just do it. If you're being hurt or there's danger ahead, you have got to be able to react quickly. But more often than not, responding is the way to go. So how do we turn our natural reaction into a response instead? As I said, I think it's born from fear. And in the Bible, it says, do not be afraid, or words to that effect, 365 times. That's one for every single day of the year. So we've got no excuses for not understanding that God doesn't want us to fear. I just feel like if we could just change our perspective on things ever so slightly, see things from a different point of view, then perhaps we wouldn't be so scared and react in the way that doesn't necessarily turn out to be the best. We have a saying in our house, if we're nervous about anything, that we breathe in excitement and breathe out fear, because those two things are so closely linked, aren't they? And sometimes if you can turn that fear into a sense of excitement or adrenaline, then you can actually use it to your benefit rather than hold you back in any way. So that's what we do in our house, but sometimes that's a little bit harder than other times. So my challenge to you really is to open the Bible, have a look at all those opportunities it gives us to not fear. Have a look at what God says about fearing and how we don't need to do that. We don't need to worry because it's in his hands and he's got this. So if you're a reactor, I applaud you. We need you. There are times in life where we need quick, spontaneous reactions. And if you're a responder, I'm really trying to be more like you. There are so many occasions where a response rather than a reaction is so beneficial. But wherever you find yourself on that spectrum, whichever camp you fall in, just take some time to look at where that fear is coming from and what you can ask God to speak into that fear in order to help you to respond rather than to react. Thanks, guys. Bye.